So this is a step function, and if you look at it, it looks like steps, hence its name. So it abruptly increases or decreases from one constant value to a next, each of those being a horizontal line. And remember to write the equation of a horizontal line. It's y equals a number. There's no other variables or anything in that equation. So if we look below here at finding those function values, f of -7, that -7 is an x. So when x is -7, that y is on this bottom step at -2. When we look at f of -2, -2 is the x. When x is -2, there's an open circle at y equals 1, but that's not included. We need the closed circle at y equals 4, so f of -2 is 4. F of 0, when x is 0, that y value is 4. F of 4, x is 4. And again, we have the situation where the y value at the y equals 4 is open, so we don't use it. We use the 7 y value, which is closed. So f of 4 equals 7. And then it's asking us for f of 9. If we look at 9, that function value has an open space, and there's no closed dot or included piece at 9. So f of 9 really does not exist. This is undefined. There is not a function value at x equaling 9. So f of 9 is undefined. Now, let's write the equations for the rest of the blanks here. We have f of x, or y equaling -2. Our step at -2 is here. Starts at x equaling -8 and goes to an open -5. And that's what this domain tells us, from -8 to -5. The less than or equal to is the closed circle. The less than is the open circle. So then that second step is at y equaling 1, and its domain starts at a closed -5 and goes to an open -2. So -5 less than or equal to x less than -2. The x's are between -5 and -2. Next step is at 4, and we need to fill in its domain. -2 is a closed starting point, so -2 less than or equal to x. And then this continues until x equals 4, and that's open. So this would be less than 4. And then that top step, we need to fill in all of it. That top step's y value is 7. So f of x equals 7. And that domain is from 4, which is closed, -4, I meant +4, less than or equal to x. And then we continue to 9, but it's open, so that's less than 9. And there's the rest of the function. Now, the domain of the entire function, if we look, once we start at -8, there are no gaps until we get to the open at 9. So that domain is bracket, because it's closed, -8, comma, 9, parentheses. The range is a little different here because it's not every y value between -2 and 7. It's only those certain y values. So to do that, we list them in order, least to greatest. So -2, comma, +1, 4, 7. We list those domain values, range values, excuse me. We list those range values. And then to link those together, we separate those, we put those curvy braces around them. And there are step functions. Once the domain starts, there are no gaps. So within the domain, is there any X value where the function discontinues? And that answer is no. Okay, there are no gaps or breaks in the domain. Once the domain starts, there are no gaps or breaks through its entirety. All right, that's it on step functions.